and welcome. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. I am glad you are here and really grateful. Now, I guess this is just one of my insecurities, whether anyone is actually listening to this or just using this to as a kind of a background noise during cleaning. But even if so, I am flattered that actually I was chosen to accompany you during this activity. And now, if you're here to listen, grab a beverage of your choice, tea, coffee, anything you like. Sit down, relax, do whatever you want to do. And if you'd like to listen into what I'm saying, I will be really grateful. And let's talk about self-care. I wanted to talk about this specific topic, because something, well, not good, actually quite bad, at least in my opinion, happened to me not too long ago. It was taking me very long to just, get around, sit down, and actually start doing another episode. But then something really crappy happened to me, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. And I kind of lost completely a sense of control of anything. I'm quite sad at the moment, but still I'm in survival mode. But what happened? I lost my job. The company says, my manager says that it was just a business decision, that the customer will no longer be paying for service, that much for service, because there's not that much work anymore. And they have no goal in keeping my post open, so they decided to not prolong my employment contract. Hence, I'm working till the end of the month, which is going to be the 31st May 2023. Right now, it's 2:30 p.m. and I'm sitting here and talking to you guys. When this shit of an event happened, I was, in disbelief, and I actually couldn't believe what was happening, and I was terrified because nothing. There were no signs that they were not going to prolong my contract, so I kind of got caught off guard, so to speak. And I guess that's what terrified me the most, that I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm still not. I'm still looking for a job, and I've known this for 12 days now, that I'm not going to work here anymore. So I've got one more week to go, which means most probably starting 1st of July I'm going to be unemployed, which means no healthcare, no insurance, no nothing. And that's kind of crappy news to me, because I feel like I'm losing a sense of security, and that my very existence is somehow threatened by this decision. So that's me. That's how I feel. And I guess it goes without saying that I think you suspect that this is a very dangerous situation for someone like me, living with addiction and with depression. Because when I stop feeling secure. It did happen in the past that I lost completely. I didn't have any kind of sense of security, and that led to me doing all kinds of destructive things and to very self-destructive behavior. So that was really crappy. Because I remember a situation when they fired me from a call center job, and the first thing I did was just leave the building and go buy alcohol, drink it, spend 2 hours until I was sobering up. At which point, it was only then that I called my wife and told her about me losing the job. And that's not the only moment when, because of something sudden and something threatening to me happens, that I went on an even more destructive spree. Because when I felt fucked, all I could do was go and get hammered, because I lost my job. I don't know what I'm gonna do, so the only thing I could do is go and ingest the substance, thanks to which I could just for a moment forget about reality and just disappear into my own make-believe imagined plane of existence where nothing actually mattered. And that was the whole point. That was the goal of me drinking, to just, escape reality. And come to think of it, now that I'm talking about it, it's a fucking miracle that, thank the gods, I didn't go into drugs. I mean, I did smoke marijuana, but, and you can get addicted, but it's not as addictive as, say, cocaine or anything else. And it's not that I didn't have access. I had lots of access when I worked at the bar, where everyone knew everyone, and the people just went to the back and did drugs there. So yeah, that was my experience. That was the time when I the most alcohol consumed in my entire life happened then, when I worked at that bar. Okay, but that's kind of beside the point. I wanted to talk to you about self-care, as I mentioned before. So, what is it to me, and how I'm struggling with it, and why I am actually surprised that I can't do anything to take care of myself. That I am able to take care of myself constructively. Destructively, I've been doing that my whole life. Constructively, I'm learning to do that. So when the shit hit the fan, and I learned that I am not going to keep my job, the first thing I did was set up an appointment with a doctor to go on sick leave for a week to get my shit together. And the reason for that was that I when I got off the phone with my manager, my hands started trembling. I was so shaken up that I thought I would throw up. Everything inside me, just screamed, how the fuck is this possible? Why me? Why now? Why is this happening? Every question of the sort that you can imagine went through my head, which is not a fun thing to witness, even if I was the only person to have witnessed that. It was really scary, and those questions that I knew all too well emerged and just tried to consume me. And in the past, these types of questions, I let them consume me, and in turn I consumed substances to get away from them. This time something else happened. I asked for sick leave, and I said it straight. I didn't lie or hide the truth or anything. I said to the doctor that, look, I just learned I'm losing my job, and I'm so shaken up that I can't do anything. I feel like throwing up. I'm trembling. I need a week off to get my shit together. And I got sick leave. And another thing is that I swore to myself that I would never ever again lie to anyone about anything. I spent my whole life lying about everything, and I swore to myself that I would never do that again. And even if the doctor would decline my question whether I would get sick leave, I risked it and I said yeah. Because if I lied, okay, that I'm feeling, ill or anything, I would not feel okay with myself. And the first and foremost, to me, point of taking care of oneself in a constructive way is to feel okay with yourself. But in order to do that, I had to go through reconstructing my entire moral system and my values and all that. I had to reconstruct what I believe in, the belief side, I mean from a spiritual / religious standpoint, is another story all in its own. But what I believe in ethically, that had to be rebuilt, or better yet, built again. Because on the outside, my values didn't change all that much. Sorry. I mean, I'm not... one thing, I am very liberal, and I do believe in telling the truth no matter what. And I believe in community, and I actually believe in people, that we can all live together as a great big family. Even if we disagree on certain points, we can still live together, creating a society of various people, and even if we don't agree on everything, we still accept each other. And I'm working really, really hard to on that point, to rewire myself and just be that person, be that good, kind, accepting person. And it's not that I don't accept everyone, but I'm having a really, really difficult time thinking or being kind to people who have a different point of view on certain top. Okay, I really hate right wing conservative theocratic Republican type Christians. I hate the Catholic Church and things like that. There, I said it, and I'm not taking it back. So there, and I'm having a really hard time to getting my head around the notion of separating somebody's behavior from the person. When something bugs me, it's not the person bugging me, it's their behavior. I have absolutely no idea how to wrap my head around it, or even if that is something I agree with. It's something I heard from my therapist. My group, my therapy group. There are certain people who just, whenever they start talking, they annoy me. They simply annoy me because people around them are suffering, and they're either oblivious or straight out determined to not changing their point of view or their behavior, and that's something really difficult for me. I am absolutely not going to go into any kind of detail. I don't think I've said too much, but I did say something about my group, and I'm not going to say anything else. I would never want to disclose any kind of information that may lead to identifying anyone from my group, even if anyone wanted to. That's not okay. I'm trailing too far off the topic. I'm having a really hard time thinking. I would want to. Sorry, I had a change of thought. I really would like to feel sorry for them, because obviously they were exposed to this kind of thinking, that they developed it further into an extreme in many cases, and that's something that must have been a really painful experience, honestly. And I can imagine it. I can wrap my head around it. Thinking of it, using only logical reasoning. I really do understand that certain people are who they are and behave the way they behave. And I would like to feel sorry for them, but I don't. If something bad happened to just one of them, I would not feel sorry. I would actually be happy. And it's something I am ashamed of, actually. But at least I'm brave enough to admit that I'm brave enough to admit to that I have these thoughts. If that makes sense. Rewind, listen to it carefully. Because if it doesn't, just forget about it. But to me, it does make sense. I would like to feel sorry for them, but I can't. I am at the moment not able to feel sorry for them. Just like I wouldn't feel sorry for any racist bigot, I don't know, falling off a cliff or just dying. Honestly, right now I'm at a place where if someone like that died, okay, I've got some extremes in my head, like Ron DeSantis or anyone from the Iranian regime. If they died, I would not feel sorry for them. I would feel happy that the world is a better place for losing one of those very bad people, to say the least. I would really like to feel sorry for them. I am kind of ashamed because I do realize that thinking like that doesn't make me any better than them. And I am ashamed. I am really ashamed that I have these thoughts. And I'm working hard to change my mindset and see actually people in them. These are also living beings, living people. But it's so fucking hard. Which doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve the effort to at least try to feel sorry for them. Ideally, they are overthrown and have to answer for their crimes in a fair and just trial. But nothing more. Okay, I've said too much and I've trailed off to a very different direction that I wanted to talk about, which is kind of to be expected from this podcast. And I think anyone listening to it may have already gotten used to it. But self-care. So, okay, as you can see, being in a state like this, that I'm absolutely, kind of devastated, and really not in a good place right now, because it does take a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, and a lot of my mental capacity is constantly revolving around that job thing. So the first thing I had to do was to get some time off, to cool down and get used to the thoughts of me losing the job. That's one thing. Another thing was to start looking for a new job immediately, which I did. I revamped refreshed my resume, and started looking for new opportunities. I also found some side hustles I can do from home, but the thing is that all of the problems that I see are like, instead of seeing just three separate problems that I can attend to one at a time, or disassemble them and go through them step by step, and work through them, and instead of feeling this vague, instead of being so vaguely scared of everything, and be just okay, it's scary, but I'm managing. I see all those problems as a big ball of rubber bands, and instead of taking them all apart and looking at each rubber band one at a time, I see this huge ball of rubber bands that paralyzes me, because I'm frightened of it, and I'm frightened to touch it, and that and I freeze. which is a kind of old behavior pattern of an addict, because this leads to me building up tension and this perpetual feeling of chaos and no control, which was and still is, because I am an addict and I will always be an addict. Okay, I will always be addicted, but I will not always be an addict. That's a difference. I think I've had an epiphany of sorts. That's a huge difference, and it's not that I deny anything, no. But I'm accepting who I am. Wow. Okay, you really did just witness a small epiphany of sorts. Yeah, but that's I guess that's how it works. That I think about myself and my position and my emotions, and I think about what I am thinking about. You know, from time to time, it will happen that I have this kind of realization of a certain truth about my condition, which makes my life a lot easier, because each time I take off some tension from myself and from my thoughts, things just get better. And that's a wonderful feeling, to feel just a tiny bit less heavy. Okay, so I will always be addicted, and in the past I did have situations like this, of this feeling of chaos, of dread, of something bad looming just over the horizon, and coming real quick at me. These were the times when I would reach for substances and things like that. But not this time. This time I did something completely different, which I kinda should be proud of. So having a few days off, immediately starting to look for a job. I attended to the things that I could attend to. I tried looking for side hustles, got really good advice, and from another point of view, from a different perspective, each time I felt tired of writing cover letters and sending out resumes, I just stopped, gave myself time to breathe, and did something else, something that gave me pleasure. I play games. I exercised. I had a long bath, and all the things that could give me just a little bit of pleasure and loosen me up a bit. I did. I did just that. I think I could have done something more, or something more constructive, but in the end, I did a huge fucking lot all on its own, and okay, I think I did. Given my condition and everything, I did everything I could to do better, and to get better, and to, you know, not fall into old habits. And I'm not talking about drinking. The farther I go into therapy, the farther I am in therapy, the more I come to realize that drinking was was okay. It was a pervasive symptom of what truly ailed me, and alcohol as a substance on its own is addictive, and I couldn't live without it, and I craved it so many times before. But the thing is that alcohol becomes more and more just one of the symptoms, and once my body got clean of the substance itself, there are 10 times more. There's 10 times more other issues, problems, or behaviors, or ways of schemes of thinking, and all that, that I need and want to address. For example, where did it all come from, or how did it all started, or what I've felt when it all started, what I felt during the whole process, what I am feeling now, how I am feeling now, and everything in between. So one of those things was me self-regulating emotions through through buying stuff, through eating a lot more than usual, and yeah, I did just that. I ate much more than before. I got back to smoking cigarettes, but just for one day, luckily. I threw away half of the pack of cigarettes that I had bought. Fortunately, I didn't go back. And yeah, but emotionally and physically, I was, and I still am, going through a fucking roller coaster of crap happening and things like that, because the first day when I got that information, I was shaking all day. The next day I was smoking cigarettes. Not that many, but okay, I bought the pack on Friday and smoked through Saturday, and I threw the pack away Sunday morning without smoking that day. So let's say 1.5 day. After 1.5 day of smoking, I had the worst case of hangover that I had in a long time. And you'd be surprised. A hangover without drinking? Yes, a hangover without drinking. The body remembers what it feels like to be hungover, and one of the symptoms of craving alcohol is a hangover without drinking. Because what do you do when you have a hangover? You drink, not to have the hangover. So yeah, that's one of the symptoms that my body is craving alcohol, or an easy way out. It's not even a way out, and it never was a way out. It was a way to escape reality, but in reality it was a way to go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole and lose all control whatsoever, until there was no control left, and you become a mindless zombie, a living, breathing, but still mindless zombie that would do absolutely anything to get out of trouble, or to get into trouble to get out of trouble, but to have this artificial reason to drink again and again and again and never stop until you die. Because that's the truth. You die of drinking. And it's not a calm and peaceful death. People die because of drinking. Plain and simple. Just like they die of taking drugs and of smoking cigarettes. They die of diseases, of cancer, in accidents. And I know it that people, no matter what, people sooner or later will die. But I would rather die on my own terms than being a slave to a substance. That's one of the realizations I had when I was in hospital, getting treated for addiction in a psychiatric ward. I was a slave, and I refused to be a slave ever again. And that's another promise I made to myself, that I would never, ever again be a slave. As a kid, I learned to be a slave, to act as a slave, because my parents were abusive. My dad would beat me really, really bad if I did something wrong. He didn't hit me with his fists or anything, or over the head. Maybe once or twice. But it's not like I had never did anything to my face. He beat me with his belt or with his hands. My mom would sit silent and didn't do anything. And what other human being would you treat like that? A slave. And that's it doesn't. Okay, fuck all their intentions. I know their intention was to punish me, and because I did something bad, and they hoped that would teach me a lesson, and that I would never do anything like that ever again, or that I would study harder thanks to their teaching. But in all actuality, fuck their motivation. Fuck it all up to hell. Nothing like that ever justifies being physically abusive about anything. There is no justification for that. No matter how good their intentions were, fuck it. My experience was completely different. My experience and how I felt when they did what they did was that I am a slave and I should behave as a slave. Nothing more, nothing less. Realized I don't want to be a slave ever again anymore, under any circumstances. So yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons I am how I am, how I have been treated at home. And the thing is that when I already mentioned this before, but when I confronted my parents about my experience of the past, of how it was, everything was, denied, and my parents were in a denial box, and nothing, and I haven't spoken to them ever since, and that was in October last year, I think. No, sorry, it was February this year. I haven't spoken to them since, but fuck that. Self-care. Again, going back to self-care. The things I have learned is that I should give myself... I'm still learning that, because whenever I call in sick, I again and again feel like an imposter, and that I'm somehow abusing the system. No, fuck, that's not true. I have every right to call in sick when I don't feel like living anymore. That's a gross exaggeration, but yes, that's one of the points. I am supposed to take care of myself, and call in sick and say that I am not able to contribute to the company that day, and that in that respect. So that's kind of, I think, the most important thing, to allow myself the time off, to allow myself time to get my shit together, and just take care of myself, my affairs. Try to do everything I possibly humanely can to find a new job, and once that happens, I'm going to need time again to relieve all the tension and all the stress, because I do feel that no matter what I do, I still somehow bottle up my feelings inside me, and I kinda don't allow myself to feel scared and to properly get in touch with my own emotions. I've said before that I'm in survival mode, and survival mode to me is sometimes, shutting out emotion, just no emotions, just no thinking, just doing stuff over and over until I get tired, and that's when I do something else. But anything that will keep myself distracted, not actually thinking about my current situation and what to do. That is a kind of self-care to me. It may not be actually as constructive as it could be, but on the other hand, why should I expect of myself to be at my very best and to always do something constructive all the time? No, fuck that. Maybe there are people that can do that, but that's not me. And the thing is, I don't give myself permission to feel like that, to think like that. I have a right to to relieve myself, my thoughts of what I am doing, and just to let off some steam. So I do go and play games, just to let go of of thinking of my situation, to stop thinking of my situation, to unwind, to relax. I think I'm talking about self-care. I don't know how long I've been talking right now, but this is the first time that I've said the word relax, and that's kind of symptomatic to me, and shows that I'm not that good at taking care of myself. I'm far better than I ever was, but I'm still not there yet. I don't think I will ever be. I think that's a process. That's one of the processes that I'm going to go through for the rest of my life. I think. I don't know. We'll see. But thing is that I need to relax in all this. I need to relax. Yes, there are times during the day and moments that I need to keep up, and I send out resumes. I do things apart from that, but I also need time to relax. Today I woke up to a huge fucking migraine. I'm already on some painkillers. It's kind of dimmed out, but it hasn't really gone away. I did do some exercises, but I didn't do an entire set. And I said to myself, that is okay too. It's okay. Your head is about to explode. Stop. Leave it. Nothing bad will happen if you don't do it. Or at least if you don't do it right now. And that's a dialogue that I need to continue. That's something I need to tell myself almost each and every time. That if I don't feel the strength of completing something, the fact that I at least tried is good enough. That's the magic password. That something is good enough. And that shouldn't be an issue. Even if I only try to do something and I don't go through with it entirely, that's still good enough. And I shouldn't expect myself unrealistic things. I think I've said what I wanted to say. I told you guys what it means to me, self-care. Maybe some of you heard something you can relate to or take for yourself and try it. Self-care is important, but I guess to each and every person that may be a different thing. I needed to get some time off, and I still need to relax. Sure, I am doing whatever I can to get a new job. Could do more. Of course I could do more. But if I don't feel strong enough to do it, I let go and I try to relax. And that gives me actually strength to repeat the next day. The whole almost 2 weeks now feel like surreal. Hoping for the best though. Thank you for being here. Really thank you for being here. Take good care of yourselves. Please do. And no matter what, you got this. Whoever you are and whatever you're struggling with, I believe in you. I strongly believe that you're going to be fine. Sooner or later, you're going to be fine. And things will get better. Cheers.